Yeah.
It's week 5 of the NFL. And coming up, it's L'Jarius Sneed.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Intercepted. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Come on, set! Ready.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10.
Cougar 19.
They'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Deron Payne, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The drive starts with a completion left side, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On play action, they'll throw. That is incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. You talk about this Seahawk defense. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator. As I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Seahawks 6-yard line.
One more time with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that were happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The numbers on the ground for Walker a week ago. 15 carries, 109 yards.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game. And I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys run up the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Straight ahead, Walker. What a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Let's go now.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. He completes this to Walker. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Up the middle, here's Walker. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And they'll run on 3rd down to Charbonnet. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wound up punching this one into the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season. Right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw here. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, no surprised to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that is going to be close. One-handed. Wow. A big pickup of 38.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Jacobs, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Once again, it's Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Looking to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation,
They just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start first and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
They'll look to throw here. Man open downfield, it's Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
They go play action here on first down. Throw out wide to Walker. Now 2nd and 5. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll look to throw. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Second and 5. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sign of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
65 catch, 65 catch. Hurt.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going into halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Caught by Mayer. 20! And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. So a very tight first half. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Past the 60.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40. Now, some concern out there right now as we got an injury stoppage. It's DK Metcalf who's getting some help following that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Walker now on first and 10. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And from the 34, here's second and 4. Sticking with Walker on second down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the Raiders. This defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Now a second and 10. Now back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Raiders are going to have it here just past the 25. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. Now a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw again. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on third down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball third time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And a tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they turn that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Deron Payne able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. 2nd down and 8. Looking to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Myers. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great... yards. And the Raiders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And out now come the Seahawks. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Warriors 70.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On play action, they'll throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Ready.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that's one where if you get your hands on it, you should expect to make the play. That could have gone for big yardage, but he just couldn't get it to stick to those big mitts.
79 Broncos. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Ready.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Second down, Jacobs once more. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. And we've got them now.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. On 2nd down, Jacobs shreds him with a stiff arm. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head,
You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the...
Back in my ways, missing my girl, I ain't seen her in days. What can I say? I'm out in the baby, trying to get paid. Look what I made. Thousands of people are knowing this J. I never change. Can put myself back in that minimum wage. Gotta keep all in this crunch time. Eating these rappers is lunchtime. You the man only sometimes. End your career with a punchline. The industry told me it's the front lines. You never mind. Getting money in my bloodline. Talking on me, mine. Keep with a rip. Don't want to talk if it ain't about a dip. Nah, but it ain't for me real quick. Ain't gon' stop till my net worth million.